The air in the hidden chamber was thick with dust and the scent of forgotten incense, a chill that had nothing to do with the late Joseon winter. Jae-ho, his breath fogging in the dim light of his oil lamp, traced the outline of a small, wooden offering box with a greedy finger. He was deep within Cheongsan-sa, a temple crumbling into history. Yet this secret space hummed with an untouched quiet, a stillness that promised more than just spiritual solace. He had heard the whispers in the nearby village, of treasures, of ancient guardians, of a wealth that could free a man from a life of austere robes and empty rice bowls. His lamp cast long, dancing shadows, distorting the worn Buddhist statues that seemed to watch his every move. His heart hammered, not from fear, but from a burgeoning, intoxicating excitement. What riches lay beneath the dust and decades of neglect? The promise of such riches was exactly what had drawn Jae-ho to the remote Cheongsan-sa in the first place. He was not a man driven by faith, but by ambition, an orphan who had seen monastic life as merely a path to survival, then to power. His shaved head and gray sungbag were a facade. Beneath, his mind churned with schemes. His heart yearned for the comforts and influence denied to him by birth in late Joseon society. Cheongsan-sa itself was a monument to neglect. Its once vibrant dancong peeling, its giwa roof tiles cracked, its wooden structure groaning under the weight of time. The few remaining monks were either ancient, lost in meditation, or young, like Jae-ho, but without his sharp avarice. He had arrived months ago, feigning devotion, meticulously observing, listening to the murmurs of the villagers about the temple's forgotten benefactors and their rumored hidden wealth. Now, he stood on the precipice of finding it, his hands trembling slightly, eager to claim what he believed was rightfully his. The wooden box, untouched for decades, yielded with a soft creak as Jae-ho pried open its lid. Inside, nestled among faded silk, lay not gold or jewels, but a small collection of silver hairpins, a delicate noriga, and a handful of ancient bronze coins, dull with age. Not the hoard he'd imagined, but still valuable, a clear sign of a once wealthy family's devotion. He knew, from overheard gossip, that the shrine was dedicated to Eun-ji, a revered caretaker from generations past, whose spirit was said to have watched over Cheongsan-sa. Jae-ho scoffed at the superstition. Spirits were for the ignorant. These were merely forgotten trinkets. He carefully pocketed one of the silver hairpins and a few coins, the cold metal a satisfying weight against his palm. As he closed the box, a faint breeze snaked through the sealed chamber, extinguishing his lamp. The sudden absolute darkness pressed in, carrying with it a whisper that seemed to curl around his ear, a sound like dried leaves rustling or a sigh. The whisper, dismissed by Jae-ho as the wind finding its way into the temple, became a recurring presence. After his first pilfering, the nights at Cheongsan-sa grew colder, the shadows deeper. He would wake to the sound of soft footsteps on the wooden maru outside his small bang, yet find no one there. The scent of ancient incense, which he had initially noticed in the hidden chamber, now seemed to pervade the entire temple, clinging to the air like a shroud. Once, while meditating, a hollow ritual for him, he felt a distinct cold touch on his cheek, as if a spectral hand had brushed past. He convinced himself it was fatigue, the isolated mountain air playing tricks. But his sleep became restless, haunted by dreams of a woman's sorrowful face, her eyes like bottomless wells. Despite the growing unease, his greed remained insatiable. The small treasures he'd taken had sold well in the nearby village, fueling his avarice. He planned another visit to Eun-ji's shrine, certain there must be more to find. His next visit to the hidden chamber confirmed his fears, and yet, paradoxically, strengthened his resolve. The moment he stepped inside, the air grew heavy, thick with a palpable sorrow. He found not more offerings, but a single ancient scroll unfurled by an unseen hand. Its faded calligraphy detailed the life of Eun-ji, a woman who, upon losing her entire family, had dedicated her life and remaining fortune to Cheongsan-sa, becoming its devoted caretaker. It spoke of her unwavering loyalty, her pure heart, and her solemn vow to protect the temple's sanctity even beyond death. As he read, a chilling cold seeped into his bones, and from the corner of his eye, he saw a fleeting shadow, impossibly tall, pass over the wall. He was disturbing a spirit, a powerful Guisin, and she was watching him. Yet, instead of retreat, a darker resolve hardened in Jae-ho's heart. If this spirit guarded treasures, then those treasures must be truly immense. He would not be deterred by a mere ghost. Undeterred, Jae-ho began a frantic search, convinced that the true treasure, the one Eun-ji guarded so fiercely, must be hidden deeper within the shrine. He spent days, then weeks, neglecting his duties, fueled by a frantic obsession. The temple around him grew increasingly hostile. Doors would slam shut on their own. His oil lamp would inexplicably gutter and die, and the scent of incense grew so potent it stung his eyes. One moonless night, driven by a sudden, inexplicable pull, he noticed a subtly carved section of the stone wall near Eun-ji's empty offering box. With trembling hands, he pushed, and a small, perfectly concealed niche revealed itself. Inside, resting on a velvet cushion, was not gold, but a small, intricately carved jade Buddha, glowing with an otherworldly luminescence. It was clearly a relic of immense spiritual and material value, far beyond anything he had imagined. His heart leaped with a sickening blend of terror and triumph. He knew this was the heart of Eun-ji's vigilance, the ultimate sacrilege he could commit. He reached for it, his hand shaking, ignoring the sudden, bone-chilling drop in temperature, the faint, wailing sound that now filled the chamber. As Jae-ho's fingers brushed the cold jade, the chamber plunged into an unnatural, suffocating darkness, far deeper than the extinguished lamp could explain. A terrible shriek, ancient and filled with profound grief and furious betrayal, ripped through the silence, tearing at his very soul. The air around him ignited with an unbearable cold, a freezing agony that pierced his flesh. Then she appeared. Eun-ji, in her stark white sobug, materialized directly before him, her long dark hair swirling like tendrils of smoke around her ethereal form. Her eyes, once sorrowful in his dreams, now burned with an infernal, emerald light, twin points of pure concentrated fury. Her spectral hand, impossibly long and translucent, reached out, not to strike, but to touch his forehead. A searing, mind-shattering pain exploded through Jae-ho's skull, 1,000 lifetimes of anguish, betrayal, and spiritual torment flooding his consciousness. He tried to scream, but no sound escaped. He crumpled to the floor, convulsing, his body racked by an agony that was not of the physical world, but of the spirit. When the few remaining monks finally found Jae-ho days later, he was curled into a fetal position in the hidden chamber, muttering incoherently, his eyes wide and vacant, staring at unseen horrors. The jade Buddha remained untouched in its niche, glowing faintly. His mind, once sharp and calculating, was utterly shattered. He was alive, but a mere shell, permanently adrift in a torment only he could perceive. He would endlessly reenact the moment of his transgression, his hands reaching for invisible objects, his body recoiling from unseen touches. He never spoke of wealth again or of leaving Cheongsan-sa. Instead, he simply existed, a living monument to the wrath he had provoked. The other monks, horrified and bewildered, eventually moved him to a secluded corner of the temple, away from the few pilgrims who still visited. The tales of his madness, whispered from villager to villager, only deepened the fear and respect for Cheongsan-sa's ancient guardian. No one ever dared to seek out the hidden chamber again. To this day, they say, a faint, sorrowful whisper can sometimes be heard echoing through the decaying halls of Cheongsan-sa, especially on moonless nights. It is Eun-ji, forever vigilant, forever guarding the sanctity of her beloved temple. And sometimes, if one listens closely, another sound emerges, the soft, continuous mutterings of a broken man, lost in an eternal torment of his own making. Jae-ho's story became a stark, chilling legend in Gyeongsang province, a solemn reminder that some treasures are not meant for mortal hands, and some acts of desecration carry a price far greater than any earthly wealth. The temple, though still crumbling, found a new kind of protection, not from monks or walls, but from the enduring terror of a guardian's wrath and the living testament of a greedy man's ruin. The whispers, the muttering, and the cold presence of Eun-ji serve as an eternal warning. Honor the sacred, or face the indelible consequences.